Hello students, welcome to Spring 2024. This is Dr. Mercado speaking. I am super excited for this new semester. I hope all of you are well rested and ready to get started. Now I do have 3 course orientation videos posted in each of your courses. Okay, some of those videos may vary because some of the courses use Cengage, others use SIBNet. Okay, but overall you will have 3 orientation videos that I really encourage all of you to go over and review because critical information is provided. Okay, so before you start working on any of your assignments or anything, please make sure that you listen to the 3 orientation videos provided. A lot of your questions will be answered in these videos. Okay, now the part 1 of the orientation is just a quick overview about myself and just some general guidelines about what to expect in my course. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So this course orientation is for all of my spring 2024 classes. It does not matter which class you are in. Okay, I am teaching 2 sections of Introduction to Accounting 1, 2 sections of Payroll and Business Tax Accounting, 1 online section of Principles of Financial Accounting, and 1 online section of Computerized Accounting Applications. I have 1 face-to-face class this semester, Principles of Financial Accounting. We will be meeting Monday and Wednesdays from 1 to 3:50 p.m. Okay, so it does not matter what course you are in. This orientation is for you because I will provide a lot of information. Now, for my face-to-face classes, I will be going through a lot of this information in class. But if you miss class, this is a great resource to utilize. Okay, so these are the courses so far that I will be teaching in the spring semester, and I'm very excited. Okay. Now, how do my courses work? Do we have to meet at a certain time, a certain date? No, we do not. My courses are asynchronous courses, which basically mean that you get to go into the course and complete all of the different tasks for that week at your own pace. Okay, so there is no set time, but rather pre-recorded lectures and digital curriculum material is provided. Okay, the students will, I know a lot of you have work, you have conflicting schedules. That is why you're taking online classes. So I can't make you, sit at a certain time because I know it might conflict with other students' schedules. So my courses are built in a manner where all of the resources are provided up hand. So you have everything. I built my courses from the ground up every semester. There are new courses every semester and new content, new assignments, so on and so forth. And I build for the entire semester. So from day number 1, you have access to all of the 17 weeks. During spring, we have 17 weeks of instruction. We have 1 week of spring break, which brings it down to actually 16 instructional weeks. But you have from day number 1 access to all of the resources. Okay, so included in those resources are your reading material, your PowerPoints. Depending on the class, I do have some lectures posted. You have study materials, quizzes, homeworks, projects, tests, so on and so forth. Okay, everything is pre-built. Everything is outlined in your syllabus. Okay, so what happens is, let's say you're starting week number 1. Whenever you have time during week number 1, you go in there and you complete your task for the week. Okay. It is a student's responsibility to keep up with the deadlines. Okay. Please make sure that you keep up. That's a major issue that I've seen students, just because these are asynchronous courses, they forget or they just don't go in there and do their assignments. Okay. So typically, my assignments are open on a weekly basis. My assignments open on Monday and close on Sunday. Okay. Now, for the majority of the assignments, you will have 7 days to complete the assignments. That is the majority. When it comes to test time, exams, you will not have 7 days to complete the exam. You will have a shorter window. So that is where it's very important that you keep up. I recommend that you have a planner, whether it be on your phone or a paper planner or whatever. So you can make sure that you document, your due dates on those calendars. That way you do not miss out. Okay. But students, for that specific week, have access and flexibility to go in there and complete their assignments when it best fits their schedule. Okay. So some of the pros of asynchronous courses are, of course, the flexibility. Students are able to go in there whenever they want and complete their assignments at their own pace. I know that some students have very demanding circumstances. I've had students have multiple jobs, they have kids, aging parents, sick family members, so on and so forth. So it can be difficult and challenging to go to a traditional class. That's why they enroll in an online class. And this online class, being in an asynchronous format, allows that flexibility. Okay. Now, there are some cons to asynchronous courses. Okay. One of those is that students feel distanced from the students and the instructors, and that is not the intent of the course. Okay. If you are a student that needs the interaction, I am always available. If you have questions, feel free to ask questions. I encourage students to create study groups, whether it be like in an electronic format. You create WhatsApp groups, or on Pronto. I use Pronto a lot. You are more than welcome to create study groups, interact with your classmates, and like I said, I'm always available to help answer any questions you might have. Okay. The flexibility I've seen is, a con for some students that have difficulty managing their time. Okay. That is where keeping organized is very, very important. And this is from day number one. Once you begin falling behind, it will be very difficult for you to catch up. Okay, there's a lot of content covered each week. That is why I give you 7 days to do it. But once you miss 2, 3, 4 weeks, it will be very, very challenging for you to catch up. So please make sure that you have a system in place to ensure that you are able to complete your coursework on time. Okay. Some courses, not all of them, but some of them will require a group project. Okay. And based on the type of students that I've had in the past that are very, very knowledgeable with the different technologies, I don't see it a problem to communicate over the different learning platforms, and complete the projects. Okay. The project helps in collaborating with your classmates, learning to work with others, managing time, meeting deadlines, so on and so forth. Okay. So my courses are asynchronous. You do not have to meet at any certain time, but you are responsible to adhere to the established deadlines. Okay. I do not grant extensions. Okay, so I do not want to hear, Miss, I missed week 1 assignments, I missed week 2 assignments, unless you have a very good reason that you were not able to complete it. Okay, but you are responsible to adhere to those deadlines, and everything is clearly stated on your syllabus. Okay, so the orientation videos, the first part, it will be just a general overview. Part number 2 will deal with a overview of Blackboard, and then part number 3 will deal with the learning technology that we're going to be using in the class, whether it be Cengage or SIPNet. Okay, and you will find the corresponding orientation video in your course. If your course uses Cengage, you will get the Cengage orientation part 3. If your course uses SIPNet, you will find the SIPNet orientation video for part 3. Okay. So in those orientation videos, I'm going to explain the layout. For example, under the Blackboard, the Blackboard layout, the importance of the Start Here module, the course content, how to access the different course material, messages, announcements, and the gradebook. Under Cengage or SIPNet, we're going to go into detail about what those learning platforms, what they are, how to create an account and access the learning platforms so you can be able to complete your assignments. We're going to go over the assignments, the gradebook, and the different resources provided under each of the platforms. So for those of you that do not know me, I am Dr. Claudia Mercado. I've been a full-time accounting instructor at STC since fall of 2014. I have over 13 years of experience in the banking sector with emphasis in accounting and operations. I've worked in maquiladoras, I've worked at HEB, I've worked in all kinds of jobs, okay? So it's important that we do have some hands-on experience. That way we can be able to apply what we learn in college to actual application in the industry, okay? So just like all of you, I did start my educational career endeavor here at South Texas College. Back in the day, it was South Texas Community College. In May of 2001, I graduated with my accounting clerk certificate. Okay, I was the first one in my family to go to college, so I didn't know if I had it in me to be able to finish a degree. So I said, you know what, I'm going to start small and see how it goes from there. Okay, so I come from a very traditional home. My parents come from Mexico. And my dad quite didn't want me to go to college. He said women should stay home. Okay. I decided to, you know what, not listen to my dad and start going to college. And I loved it. Okay. I completed my certificate in 2001. I continued with my associates. I got my Associates of Arts in Business Administration from STC in 2004. And then at that point, I transferred out to the University of Texas Pan American, where in December of 2006 I completed my bachelor's in accounting. Okay. Now, mind you, during all of this time, I am a full-time employee. I am working full-time. So I know the challenges that you go through. Okay. I did not have the privilege of just going to school and having it easy. No, I had to work. I had kids. I had a family to take care of, bills to pay. So I know how all of you feel. Okay. So during all of this time that I'm getting my certificate, associates, bachelor's and master's, and PhD, I work full time. Okay. So it is difficult, but it is not impossible. Okay. I guess you just have to have a mindset of, okay, this is my goal and I'm not going to stop until I reach it. Okay. So, like I said it, I completed my bachelor's in accounting, and then during that period, I was really having a career growth. At that point, I did transition from going full time to part time because my job required a lot of my time. So I said, okay, I cannot go full time to school, but I can surely go part time. I can go maybe 2 classes a semester at night after work, and that's what I did. I would get out of work at 6:30, get to Edinburgh like at 7:30, 7:20, have something light to eat, and then I would have class from 8 to 10. Okay. So I continued down the path of accounting because I love accounting, and I completed my master's of accountancy in December of 2013. Okay. I had some situations with some of my children. I adopted 2 boys, and they were a handful. My job was very, I had a lot of responsibilities, and I could not be missing work because of the issues with my children. So I decided to do a career change for the well-being of my family. So I decided to join South Texas College in 2014. It gave me the flexibility that I needed, and it allowed me to continue doing what I loved, which was accounting. But now instead of doing it, I am teaching it. And I just, fell in love with this career. I never thought I would be an instructor, and here I am today. Okay, so when I started here at STC, it was overwhelming. It was very different than what I was accustomed to. I was accustomed to just being in an office and just working by myself day in and day out, doing projects, doing a variety of activities. And now here I am in front of a class, in front of so many students, answering so many questions, dealing with so many situations. But it showed me, you know what, that, change sometimes can be good. Um, After I started working here, I was like, you know what? I need to go back to school. So I had the time because my work is flexible. And I decided to go back to school. And in November of 2020, I completed my Doctor's of Philosophy in Business Administration with specialization in organizational leadership. Okay. So I'm very proud of that. I am the first one in my entire family ever to have a PhD. So that is a major accomplishment for myself. And this just goes to show, you know what? I was born in Reynosa, Mexico, a person from Reynosa. I was a very low income family, coming from a very low income family. I was a migrant worker for many, many years. There's nothing special about me. The only thing that I have was a determination to get an education. Okay, and I made it happen. So if I made it happen, I am more than positive that you can make it happen too. You just need to be committed to your goals, and there's nothing stopping you. And I tell my students, if you are going through a situation where life gets hard, because it gets hard for all of us, okay, don't stop coming to school. Just, if you can't take a full load, maybe take one or two classes. One or two classes is better than nothing. Okay. And then once you fix your situation, you can come back full time or whatever pace that you wanted. Or if you want to do part time, as long as you don't stop, you will get to that goal eventually. Okay. So let's go into our weekly task. Okay, it is very important that you review your syllabus. There is a course outline within the syllabus that basically tells you what we are going to be doing every week. Okay, it also gives you the assignments and the due dates. So I highly recommend that you build or you create a folder for my class, and that you put your syllabus in there, and that you keep up with that syllabus. Every week you go in there and that you check, okay, what do I have to complete for Dr. Mercado's class? Okay, you notate it somewhere, and that way you make sure that you don't miss any of my deadlines. Organization is super important. Make sure that you keep you keep your calendar organized. That way, if you're taking multiple classes, what days are you going to work in each of those classes, so you can be able to complete all of your tasks. Okay. Now, I encourage that all of the students read the assigned chapter before beginning to work in any of your assignments. I know we do not like to read, but reading is critical. It is vital. It is important that you read. That is how you're going to learn the material, by reading it. Okay. You're going to gain knowledge by reading. You're going to become familiar with the content, and then you can be able to apply that information to the problems. I provide PowerPoints. Those PowerPoints are intended to be utilized to take notes as you read. That way, if you have any questions as you are reading, you can always jot them down on your PowerPoint slides, and then you can get with me. Okay. Um, some of the courses have lectures posted to them, and they are provided in Blackboard, and I will show you that in the orientation part 2. These are mainly for my physical accounting classes, so you should seek lectures for Accounting 1303, 1329, and 2301. The only class I do not have lectures for is for computerized accounting applications, because that is a very Excel driven course, and the textbook just does wonders in showing you how to complete activities, and videos are already embedded in the actual assignment, so there is really no need for me to create additional videos unless students have specific questions. But for the majority of the classes, I do have lectures recorded, and those lectures are problem solving based. I will help you solve specific problems, and I highly encourage that you watch those videos. Okay. After you have read the chapter, reviewed the PowerPoints, reviewed my lectures, then you can begin working on your assignments. Okay. It is very important that you do not fall behind. If you encounter an emergency that's going to prevent you from meeting the assignment deadlines, please communicate with me immediately so we can work something out and I can be aware. Okay. So if something is happening in your life, I don't need to know much details. Just let me know, Miss, this is happening. I won't be able to complete my assignments for the next 2 weeks. Can you help me out? And we'll work something out one-on-one. Okay. But you just forgetting to complete your assignments is not an excuse. Okay. You having to work is not an excuse, because you knew you had to work. Okay, if you had a job, you had to work. So you need to figure out a way to complete your assignments within the schedule. This means waking up early. This means staying up late. Okay, or working during your lunch hour. Okay, just like everybody else does it. Okay, so it's very important that you manage your time. But if there are situations, I've had students have babies, I've had students had emergency surgeries, I've had students have car accidents, I've had deaths in the family that are unexpected. So if something like that is happening, I am more than willing to work with you. Just let me know. Okay. Questions. Please, I am here. I am available to help you in everything I can. Now, if you have any questions about the course, I am always, more than willing to help. But sometimes students just, I think, expect me to give them the answer, and that I will not be doing. Okay. I like to have conversations with students, and I like to question them, because the questioning allows me to understand if the student has read the chapter. Okay. If I've had students tell me, Miss, I am lost, I do not understand anything. Okay, I'm like, how do you not understand anything if some of that information is very basic? There's examples provided. The only thing that tells me is that you have not taken the time to review the resources provided. Okay, so if you have a question, make sure the question is specific, uh, specific to a problem. I want to see your work. What is it that you're doing step by step? That way I can provide guidance to you. Okay. You know what? Step 1, 2, and 3 are good. You need to go back and work on step 4. This is what you need to do on step 4. And then you go in there and you do it. Okay. If you need to communicate with me, the best way to communicate with me is through Blackboard messages. That way I know that you are in my specific class. Okay, like you see, I'm going to be teaching 7 classes in the spring. I'm going to have maybe over 200 students. So it can be difficult for me to kind of like pinpoint you to a class. Okay, so to me, the best way, it just keeps everything within the course, is to send me a Blackboard message. My spring 2024 office hours are Monday and Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and on Thursdays from 9 to 10. Now, on Monday and Wednesdays, I will be in campus. Those are the 2 days that I do have a face-to-face class, and I have my office hours right before class. For Thursday, my office hours are online. Now, my office hours are by appointment. So if you need to speak with me, please let me know what day time works for you so I can schedule an appointment. Okay, this allows me to be able to dedicate sufficient time with you. Okay, I've had situations where I have like a line of students waiting outside for me because everybody decided to come see me at the same time. Okay, and it's not efficient. So if you need to speak with me, you need to see me, let me know, give me the options that you have, and I will work with you. If face to face, like in my office, does not work, maybe we can do a Teams call, a Zoom session, or something where we can have some form of interaction, some face to face interaction. Okay, so please make sure that you schedule an appointment with me. So, like I mentioned earlier, I do not grant extensions to complete assignments. All assignments are due on the designated due dates. It is your responsibility to keep up. I post weekly announcements on Blackboard reminding students of the assignments for the week. So please just make sure to keep up from day number 1. If an emergency occurs, please contact me immediately so I can be aware of your situation and we can create a plan to keep you up to date. Okay, maintaining communication with me is very, very important. Okay, so I am looking forward to an awesome spring 2024 semester. Please make sure that you do go in there and that you listen to the other 2 orientation videos. Part 2 will deal with Blackboard. Part 3 will deal with either Cengage or SIBNet. So very important information will be provided about the course in those lectures. So please listen to them. Okay. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Okay. Until next time. Bye bye.